based on what you know from the first 7 games.
How's the knee treating you?
It's doing good. It's doing a lot better. Feeling good, especially after the bye week, get a little bit of rest. But yeah, it's feeling a lot better.
With the bye week, what are some of the things that you guys focus on just to, because you lose the game coming into the bye week, do you kind of let that eat a little bit, or you try and move on quick? How do you handle it?
It's always hard, right, if you go into the bye week with a loss, because you got to hear about it for 2 weeks instead of 1. But going into the bye week, there's definitely a lot to adjust. We played a bad half of football. That's really what it boils down to. Utah came out in the second half and they ran the ball. So, that's really what we've been trying to work on, making sure we stop the run. That was the goal from the beginning of the season. We need to follow that through. But yeah, you got to move it. You got to move past it though. Eventually, you just got to let it go and move on to the next. You can't hold on to it.
What are the keys to having a successful pass rush against a team that usually tries to get the ball out pretty quickly?
Yeah, well, it's always hard too, right? Because especially with teams that get the ball out quick, sometimes you just can't, sometimes it's just hard to get there. The goal is to just be relentless in the pass rush, right? Because your sacks might not come in the first and second quarter, but they might start pump faking in the third and fourth quarter. That's where you start making the money. You just got to be relentless. You got to keep going, keep pushing, keep playing harder than them, and not give up. Because they might be getting the ball out quick, but eventually they're gonna have to pump fake. So that's where you make your money.
Who are the people, and maybe yourself included, who have really stepped up after a game like Utah, where you have to preach discipline and kind of be a leader on this team? Who have been those people?
Honestly, it's a lot of the older guys, I would say, especially a lot of the guys that came back. It's important that the older guys step up and lead, make sure the younger guys are keeping their heads up, working all week, figuring out what they got to do better. I think it's really important you got guys like Chase, Kyle, D Black, Merlin, JD, guys that have been around for a while. It's pretty vital that they step up, and which is good that they have been. So,
was there any one prevailing theme that you thought maybe contributed to the problems of the second half against Utah, from your perspective?
No, to be perfectly honest, I just think that Utah had made up their mind that they were going to run the ball, and they did. And that's in this game, it's 11 on 11. You can't blame it on one person. You can't blame it on one thing. There's a lot of things that contribute to it. It's not an offensive fault. It's not a defensive fault. It's a team. And that's just what happened. We took our foot off the gas. That's really what happened. So.
What stands out to you about Washington State's offense, just when you watch them on film?
Even when Leach was there, they were always spread out. You gotta run, you gotta make open field tackles, you gotta be disciplined. They're really spread out. They throw the ball a lot. And like we were saying, it's a lot of quick passes and stuff, but they can run the ball too. Their running backs really, really good. We gotta be disciplined. The one thing, the quarterback, he's got an arm on him. So it's going to be important that we stay disciplined both in the front and the back end.
How difficult is it facing a team that is going to spread you guys out, or at least try to, but also has such an effective running back, like you said?
Yeah, it all just kind of boils down to your keys, right? You got to play. You got to do your job. That's the goal, right? You got to read your keys, do your job, stay disciplined, and that's kind of what it boils down to. In pretty much any offense, going against any offense.
What stands out to you about Washington State running back Max Borghi and what he could do in the pass game?
He's effective all around. He's a ball player, so he's definitely going to be one to watch out for. But run or pass, he's going to ball out. So we just got to, like I said, stay disciplined, do what we got to do, and get him on the ground.
If you could pinpoint a moment over the first 7 games where you could say, you know what, that is when we were playing our best football. That is the Arizona State team we should be. When would that be?
Honestly, I would say I thought we did really good against UCLA. I think UCLA was definitely an effective day, especially stopping the run. They had 2 powerhouse backs. We were able to stop the run. The biggest thing was DTR. Trying to stop him and limit him. But he had the most rushing yards out of anybody that game. So I think that was a really good game for us. But I think we still got more to play. We still got 5 games left, so I think there's still a lot of ball. We're just excited to come out and show up against Washington State.
What's the biggest thing that you guys need to? Everything's in front of you still.
Right.
Do whatever you want to do. what's the biggest thing that you guys need to accomplish to reach those goals?
I really think, showing that we can stop the run is very important. If there's any chance that a team thinks that they can run the ball on us, then that's going to be bad news. Anytime that you can stop the run, make an offense one-dimensional, and then get our guys out there that can rush the passer, that can get those interceptions, and that can play fast, that's what we got to do.
Is there too much being made of the change in kickoff time and playing your first afternoon game of the year? How does that kind of change your game day routine?
No, I'm excited. I love day games. And now the weather's feeling great out here. I love day games. So it's going to be exciting. Hopefully we can get a lot of people out there. But it's a lot better than playing at 8 o'clock at night, that's for sure. So there's a little bit of a change, right? You got to, your body, you got to wake up a little earlier. But, hey, it's all good. So.
Is there a focus for you individually during the bye week, whether it's mentally, emotionally, even recovering?
Yeah, for me, I could say for me specifically, it was just kind of getting my knee right. Getting ready because we got 5 games, right? I gotta, I want to be able to last the rest of the season and potentially into a bowl game or wherever we end up going. For me, it was definitely getting my knee right. Getting into the treatment room, and I think that's kind of the message for everybody, right? Everybody wanted to recover, get healthy again, and that way we could be at our best coming out of the bye week and then going into the rest of the season.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, appreciate it.